Wildcats! I am excited to welcome you back for a brand new school year. I am award-winning newsman Ned Nanderlittle, and it's great to be back. Now, because last year ended so abruptly with students leaving, we were unable to complete our final news report for you. So for our first news segment of the year, we'd like to go back and show you some footage from the end of last year that never got to air with last year's news team, as this year's news team prepares for their first newscast next week. So, without further ado, I'm going to pass it along to Aubrey and Carter at the news desk.
Hello, and welcome to Wildcat Action News. I'm Carter.
And I'm Aubrey. This week we're starting out with a classroom update.
Let's send it down to Ava and 3C for the story.
Hi, Ava here. This week we stopped by 3C to talk to them about what they've been up to. Let's go in and take a look. In the main hallway of Wilder Waite, you'll find an awesome 3rd grade class who is always having fun and always learning. This class is Mrs. Caldwell's 3rd grade class. I had a chance to catch up with Mrs. Caldwell and a few of her students to see what's going on in 3C. What are some things that you've been working on?
We have been working on fractions all quarter. So fractions are typically something that 3rd graders are very scared of when they come to 3rd grade, but we've had a lot of fun making a pizza project where they made their own pizza company and got to pick the fraction of each topping on the pizza, and then they sold it to their classmates. So they had a lot of fun with fractions this quarter.
What do you enjoy teaching the most?
I enjoy teaching reading and writing the most because I get to see my students' personality and their thoughts and their background and their life experiences when they share what they read and write.
What's your favorite part of 3C?
My favorite part of 3C this year is their personalities. They have a lot of different skills. They're very artistic, so doing projects with them and anything hands-on, they have a lot to bring to the table and it's a lot of fun.
What do you enjoy most about 3C?
Sitting at my desk. I like my friends.
Friends.
What's your favorite subject?
Reading. Math. Reading.
Why do you enjoy that?
Because we get to read a lot of books. I learn a lot from it. I like a lot of books.
We had a great time in 3C. Now let's head it back to the newsroom.
Wow! 3C sure looks like they had lots of fun last year. Now, let's check out another 3rd grade class from last year, Mrs. Welsh's class, who did a very special project.
Recently, Mrs. Welsh's 3rd grade class read a book, Stone Fox. To go along with their reading, they created a huge, elaborate class diorama showing major parts of the books. I had a chance to check out this project and talk to some of the students in 3W about their work.
3W read a book called Stone Fox, and I have a summary. Little Willie wanted grandfather to get better, but he couldn't pay the taxes for the farm. So Little Willie entered the dog race. Then Stone Fox, who never lost a race, signed up for the race.
What did the kids do in this project?
They made a dog sled race with sleds and out of popsicle sticks, and this is where the mushers stand, and these pipe cleaners were for the musher to hold on and to attach the dog to the sled.
Can you tell me the parts of the diorama?
So we have the town, and this is all about chapter 9, so the race is starting, and we have all the sleds and dogs lined up. There's Doc Smith's house with her rocking chair and her horses. That's the clock tower. Then back there is Lil Willie's house with his potato farm. And the trees have pine needles. We made them out of pine needles. And up there is Stone Fox's cabin. We made the clouds out of cotton balls and blue paint.
What is your favorite part in the story?
My favorite part in the story is making this rocking chair because when I read this story, I could imagine how Doc Smith sat on his rocking chair. So when I came to my house, I made this rocking chair.
The amazing students of 3W did a great job on this project, and they should be extremely proud of their work. For Wildcat Action News, I'm Sumik Veervali.
That was a neat project. Now it's time for this week's weather with Brushfire O'Brien.
The weekly forecast.
Well, yeah! Howdy there, cowboys and cowgirls. I'm Brushfire O'Brien here with your weekly weather. So, as you can see, this week it's going to be in the low 70s all week. So you might want to bring a little jacket or vest with you to school. But you might also notice there's going to be some rain moving in off the plains. So be prepared with maybe an umbrella or some splashing boots, whatever you got at home. Hope you got a great week. Looking forward to that rain holding off so we have a nice weather week to get outside and get our masks off. For Weekly Forecast, I'm Brushfire O'Brien.
Now let's get to this week's quick quiz.
Which of these is the fastest fish? Although it is hard to measure the speed of fish, the sailfish is believed to be the fastest fish. It can swim 68 miles per hour over short periods.
This week we have a staff spotlight featuring our very own Mrs. Brecklin.
We'll send it to Pierce and Shagun in 2nd grade.
Hi, I'm Pierce and this is Shagun, and today we're interviewing Mrs. Brecklin.
How long have you been teaching at Wilder Waite?
Shagun, I've been teaching at Wilder Waite for 13 years, but I have been in education for about 30 years.
What is your favorite subject to teach?
Pierce, my favorite subject is reading. The reason I like to teach reading is because every subject begins with reading. Reading takes you places in your mind. It also increases your vocabulary, the way that you're able to speak, and it also assists your writing. Reading's important.
What do you like most about teaching?
Shagun, what I like most about teaching is getting to know my kiddos and being able to build relationships and make connections with them, because there's nothing better than once the school year is over, we're not over. I have students that come back to see me when the school year is over, and years down the road, I've been invited to weddings, I've been invited to graduations, and sometimes out of the blue, I'll just receive a card or an email from a former student. You don't realize as an educator the impact that you make, and sometimes not until years and years later.
What is your favorite book?
My favorite book that I like to read to my kids is the same book that I really enjoyed when I was a young student, and it's the series of Little House books written by Laura Ingalls Wilder. She was 65 years old when she wrote her first book. I'm not 65, but I can relate.
What is your favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby, I would say one of my favorite hobbies is traveling. I love to travel. But my real favorite hobby is I love sports. So anybody who knows me knows I love sports. My favorite team is University of Alabama, Crimson Tide, Roll Tide. And my next favorite is St. Louis Cardinals. Go Cards.
Where do you like to go on vacation?
I like to go on vacation anywhere where I can learn something new, a new culture, a new environment, a new something. But I love the beach. I love traveling to Europe. I loved Ireland, but my very favorite vacation I ever took was when I did a 2-week road trip on Route 66 from Chicago, Illinois, all the way to Los Angeles, California. So we went from Lake Michigan to the Pacific Ocean and everywhere in between. It was outstanding.
Thank you for joining us on this week's Staff Spotlight and helping us get to know you better.
Thanks for having me, Pierce. Thanks a lot, Shagun. See you later.
Now it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Joke of the Week.
Hello, welcome to Joke of the Week. Because of all your joke submissions, we now have our first guest joke teller. This week's joke comes from Sophia and Tubi.
What do you call a happy cowboy? A Jolly Rancher.
A Jolly Rancher. Good one, Sophia. Keep those jokes coming in, Wildcats, and you could be featured next time. Now let's head back to the newsroom.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's newscast and some of the footage from the end of last school year. Prepare next week as our brand new news team brings you our first Wildcat Action News of the new year. See you then.